I introduced this diagram of the magical formula back in video lesson 36. I'm not going to go over that ground again here. I welcome anyone for whom this is their first video of mine, if you are taking a peek from curiosity. I hope you'll enjoy some nugget from what you hear within. However, the farther along in these lessons we go, the more dependent they are on the novice magician actually having listened to and practiced previous keys. In this diagram, I've labeled a center node as simply knowledge. The magical conversation hubs around this node of knowledge. Because we've gone through several additional keys between when I first gave this diagram until now, we are ready to dive deeper and expand the outline of the practicalities represented by this node. I also want to be clear that this diagram is you as the magician. The magical formula isn't something you wield outside of you. The desire is within you. The cause is within you. The conversation and the knowledge is you, the magician. Now imagine, and later actually do this, but for now, imagine standing somewhere in your magician's village. You are standing in the magician's stance. You are observing with the magician's eye. You are hearing the language and the magic of all the beings you encounter before you. You comprehend the illusory world before you. You comprehend the patterns and the elements and the conditions and the changes that emerge into appearance and experience. As you stand in that neutral and joyful state, allow me to turn the lens a little farther in clarity. I invite you to understand that you are not observing one world. You are observing 5 worlds. Or there are 5 realms that fuse to become our one world. In a previous video, I used the term layers, and when you get into the new diagram, you'll see why. But layers gives a sense of separation, and I want to suggest the fusion. So I am now using what I hope is a better term. I am calling them realms. The first realm is the realm of true nature. The second realm is the realm of frequency. The third realm is the realm of element. The fourth realm is the realm of appearance. And the fifth realm is the realm of enchantment or storyline. The magician may have or develop influence in each and all of these realms. The reason that it is important to make a distinction between the realms is because the language in each of the realms is different. And you know that language, literally and symbolically, is a central piece of the magician's influence. You can learn the language of true nature. You can learn the language of frequency. You can learn the languages of elements. You can learn the languages of various appearances. And you can learn language that allows you to be proficient in enchantment. Understanding the distinction between the realms allows you to reach greater precision in what you want to call. Do you want or need to call from true nature? Do you want or need to call from frequency? Do you want to call from element? Do you want to call at the level of appearances? Are you calling in terms of enchantment? In future lessons, I will offer keys regarding powers and practices for each and all realms. I can't provide that in one video in a few sentences. Stay tuned. For now, I'm providing an overview, a foundation we'll build on as we continue in the Keys of Magic series. Depending on your art, you may tend to magic within one of the realms. For example, if you are a motorcycle acrobat, you will be engaging with the appearance called a motorcycle and meeting that being, that master, on that level. However, understanding element language could also be helpful and deepen your precision. Understanding the metal, the rubber of the tires, the fire in the engine, the way that the element air responds to metal. You will come to know the true nature of a motorcycle. Do you see? These realms are distinct yet fused. You can have a multi-level understanding and influence as it relates to your art. Another example, if you are a money magician, money these days has almost no element nature. It is an appearance made only from true nature, because everything has true nature, and from enchantment. Money is enchantment. Thus, in order to master money, you would become well practiced in wielding at the true nature level and at the enchantment level. Another example, let's say that something you are trying to call isn't really responding. It would be helpful for you to be able to call from each and any of the realms and be comfortable between all of them, because perhaps the missing condition is in a different realm than the one you are initially trying to deal with. Again, this understanding of realms is an opportunity for more precision. In any conversation or formula or set of conditions, you are likely going to be calling from more than one realm at a time. That's why you need to know the 5 realms, what they do, and develop your power within each of the 5 realms, so that you can set the unique conditions for each and all of them in proportion, because you know what in each realm leads to that appearance you are calling. If you feel an affinity, it's possible to make one of the realms your art and your master and to serve that realm. You could be a true nature magician, for example. A generalist magician generally becomes a master of elements. But anyway, becoming a magician regarding a particular realm of influence is an option if you are still searching for your art. And you don't have to have just one art. All right, let me impart the next point or key. The realms arise in order. That is, frequency arises from true nature, element arises from frequency, appearances arise from elements, and enchantments are something that only humans participate in. You may say, well, I enchanted my dog. In this framework, no. You may have influenced your dog, but you did so at the level of one of the other realms, because it requires the ability for storyline and paradigm in order to be enchanted, and that is unique to humans. Another thing that is absolutely crucial that you realize is that as the magician, your being and your form is also made of these 5 realms. Your influence and conversation is going to take place through knowledge. Remember, this is the knowledge node we are diving into. What this means is that your true nature is going to influence the true nature of others. Your frequency will influence the frequency of others. Your elements are going to influence the elements of other bodies. The parameters and properties of your appearance can interact with the parameters and properties of other appearances and wield influence. You will meet enchantments with being baseline story free and then weaving your counter story as desired. You may also learn cross influence. For example, how will your manipulation of elements also induce changes in the frequency level? How can your manipulation of appearances induce changes in an enchantment? etc., etc., etc. Knowledge is touch and connection and energy sharing. Knowledge is the master of the art having invited you into the family of the art. Again, you're not mounting influence from the outside, you are within. Once a connection is established with another being, once knowledge between beings is established, one of whom is the magician, then the conversation with the necessary language and conditions can be held across or through that connection, that established knowledge. And now you know that the knowledge, the energy sharing, the conversation, the influence, the language is going to contain conditions from 5 realms in some recipe of such. Thus you will induce difference, thus you will induce change, thus will an appearance within the illusion world emerge. I've introduced quite a bit in this video. Let me give the keys. Key. All that is being. All appearance is appearance of true nature, being, and life. All beings have their own magic. Knowledge is understanding of and intimacy with another being. The magician's gathering of knowledge is the vow to encounter other beings with understanding and reverence so that relationships are formed and nurtured. The magician will draw upon their knowledge, relationship with other beings, in order to set conditions and wield influence, i.e., magic. Key. At the center or foundation of every art is a being or beings. That being is the master. If you wish for the magic of that art, the master is the one that must deliver it to you. The setting of conditions in order to induce change, in order to allow appearance, is done by invitation, requesting the participation of relevant beings based on their nature and or properties relevant to the intended conditions. The magician makes requests or invitations in the language of the relevant beings, which may include the necessity of translation. Key. Magic is the influence upon energy and matter. Magic wielded is causing and accepting an appearance within the illusion we call reality or experience. There are 5 realms within which magical influence may be wielded: true nature, frequency, element, appearance, and enchantment. True nature gives rise to frequency, frequency gives rise to element, element gives rise to appearance. Enchantment or storyline is an additional way that humans create and experience their lives. Key. The moment of change is the magic moment. Magic is the inducement of change. Keys of magic are keys of change. The magician's cause is directed into the change, not the appearance. The appearance will emerge naturally from the induced change. Appearance emerges from conditions of difference that allow the emergence of appearance. The appearances a magician calls necessitates knowledge and conversation within each and or all of the 5 realms, according to the recipe of differences, changes, and conditions. Thus the magician may learn the language or languages of each realm. Key. The magician's own being and form is of these 5 realms. The magician will cultivate knowledge between their nature and others' natures at the level of each and all realms. Magic is not without, magic is within. Anything one desires to have submitted to them, one must first submit to. Submission is the mechanism by which the magic of the master will be transmitted to the apprentice. The speaker must first hear.